Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Truth Disclosure 369 in the house for this day of the 29th of March, 2022. I come on here and greet each and every person in the greeting words of peace, universal words of peace. Hope everybody who may come across this channel is in a good mood, upbeat, doing their best to try and stave away from the nonsense. I wasn't going to get on here. I just wanted to give my opinion, of course, about the incident with Will Smith and Chris Rock. Funny thing about it, we live in a society where a lot of stuff is scripted and staged. And now the big debate, was it staged? Was it a genuine affection for one's chivalryness toward their wife? I mean, who's to really say? I mean, for God's sake, this is the Oscars where nothing but actors are there, literally. But a person wouldn't even be talking about the Oscars if it hadn't been for that. I mean, I could swear just last week, all this whining and crying about, the Oscars have been having bad ratings and all this stuff, and, because I know damn well I have not watched an Oscar and I don't know how long, really don't care. I mean, outside of watching it with parents or with older individuals as a child, as an adult, I have not really cared too much for the Oscars. Like, it never been etched in my things to do list, let alone send attention that way. But to each their own. Well, don't mean that everybody fits that category. Some people enjoy it, but obviously, a lot of people have been tuning out of it, just like a lot of these other award shows. And one thing about the Oscars is, they've been long, and the Oscars would happen, and then the next day you wouldn't hear people talking about it. You wouldn't even. I mean, you'll probably get a couple of some little footage on the news, updating who won this and what that. But if it hadn't been for that incident, Oscars would no longer be of valid importance anymore, really, to the majority of people. Like, who gives a damn? There's so much other shit going on out here, man. People fighting the gas prices, fighting the food prices steadily going up, fighting the lying politicians and the fake leaders, and fighting the school board members on shit that they're doing, and fighting this group and that group. There's so much other stuff going on. Ain't nobody really really paying attention to that. But of course, that right there will make you do it. I just wanted to look at this video. This is one of the first videos that came out after that happened. This is the whole video from that conversation. Can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay. I'm here. Oh, Richard. Wow. Let's smack the shit out of it. Now, the funny thing about it is that a lot of people that say, I'm looking at it like this, from a perspective of a person who already see a lot of hypocritical shit going on out here with people who acting like they this and that. But when certain other people do stuff, and it don't. This is a crowning example. It don't even matter what color you are. Of course, yeah, there's situations in which color uh, may be a determinant factor, but in the instance, this is two black people, two well-off black folks that that movies, actors, comedians, and all of this stuff. So yeah, it ain't like we don't know who these people are. I know I grew up on Will Smith and Chris Rock. Unfortunate this shit happened. I'm hoping they can put this shit can be looked at, but it's so much drama and soap opera shit tied in and stuff that people may not even know what the fuck going on. And once again, soon as something happens, first thing you do is you jump on board on the first perception you get. Now, when you look at this part right here, this is right after. Hold on, let me go back. Now, when he begins to talk, make that joke, which, to be honest, I didn't really see it as a joke. I thought it was more of and I heard somebody else say the same thing, like a compliment or like a wishful thinking that you would play the part of G.I. Jane too. And I don't know. I mean she probably could knock it out of the ballpark. You never would know. But understanding that she also has the alopecia medical issue. I mean, it's like, to me, it's kind of like I don't know. It just, and you see Will laughing. Then all of a sudden, everything switched, and then he comes up here and some places say he punched them, and that automatically is some BS, because obviously some people don't know the difference between a slap and a punch. But when you look at the overall signal of that shit, it's like, come on, man. How can you do something like that and not expect the contingent to come behind it? And see, all of these places all over the world are playing this. And you have to look at it like this, to reduce their weight. Everybody always talks about the image and what they want to portray when it comes to their children and moral stuff. So what kind of message does this stuff send? We get the fact that these are movie actors, all this stuff. They're already in a different class of the echelon than most people, because first of all, that can even be, this whole incident would go down like it did without any intervening of security, whether it was chivalry or not. I mean, I look at it from that standpoint when it comes to that. Person can't really get into the history of, it's like a whole lot of stuff going on, and that whole relationship that's been going on, soap opera stuff, but you never know what's genuine and what's real shit. For God's sake, they're actors. It don't fucking matter about their color. A lot of people jump on the bandwagon and want to jump. Oh, no, man, they doing what they do best. But when it comes down to coming down to him being upset about making a joke about Jada, to me it's like, okay, if you can do that, did that mean that every person that ever did did anything in this manner, probably even worse, in this manner to reclaiming or exhibiting chivalry and protecting their spouses or their other significant others respect, and in a violent means, that means that a lot of cases in which you have uh, a lot of folks that you had get locked up and or get charged with domestic battery for for some stuff that was going on, or a person hit another dude or threatened to kill another man because he looked at his wife wrong or some stuff like that, then that means that all that stuff is cool to go. This is the thing that people don't understand. When you do stuff like that, you have to look at the overall income. It's people that probably were murdered, probably got locked up, are doing time, or because of something that went back to something like a situation like this. Whether it was a person and their girl, whether it was a person and their wife, or whatever, it could have been a situation in which went down the wrong street and then a person got hurt behind it. But then the person who's the suspect, who is the guilty party, they're doing time, or they got some type of consequence behind it, in which even though they felt like they was doing what was right and what was needed, the justice didn't. I mean, the law didn't seem to think that way, but it thinks that way when it comes to certain individuals. Here we are right now, and I mean that right there is something that, and of course this is the whole speech that Will gave after he got his trophy, and the hypocrisy is all in the speech. I mean, if you a person who just did this, I mean, if you really into you wouldn't wait a couple of days and then issue out an apology. I mean, he was apologizing to everybody else first when Chris Rock should have been the one he apologized, and then all this could have came out. Chris Rock, of course, would have eventually apologized for making jokes, but I just don't think that was like. I mean, anybody can say what they want, but you got these folks that sit up here and they'll joke on people's wives and girlfriends and stuff if they big and overweight and stuff, and you never see no reaction like that. Me personally, this is my opinion. This to me was fake. I don't care what other people say, because there was no genuine reason for this to really happen. I mean, Will Smith and Chris Rock's relationship go back years. Jada Pinkett included in that. It ain't like they haven't known each other. They know this shit. They know how each other operate. They know how each other roll through the thick and thin, even through bad situations and everything. I just don't feel like this was something that was literally defending chivalry type of moment. Some people are saying that, oh, she was acting diva and had him go up there. Then that means that he don't know how to be a man and stand on his own. So that means she's controlling, she's wearing it. But however you look at it, on a world scene and on a stage, when you're dealing with people who are looked at as leaders, especially in the Black community, and as role models for certain people. I mean, damn, what do you say? What do you say to those people who done the same shit? They got charged. They had 20 people around them breaking them up and trying to stop shit. And here it is, you got a different situation with a different type of people, even though they look black, but it don't even matter about their color. It's just the fact that the whole class, the people think that we don't live in a time where you have a tier society where certain people could just do shit, and we've seen that. This is no different than what happened last Sunday night. This is no different than what's happening in politics, no different than what's happening in religions, no different than what's happening in all of the communities globally, and the issues that are rampant in all of these communities, including the Black community here. The hypocrisy and the nonsense that just happens because people, people feel like they can do it, and because of their certain status, they can do it, and there's no repercussion. But I guarantee you, if you try that, I guarantee you get locked up. Oh, I was trying to defend my wife. You gotta go. And then this another thing. I honestly believe this man would not have done that if that was anybody else. A lot of people keep saying if The Rock was up there, or if it don't even have to be nobody. It ain't gotta be nobody just because they muscle bound and all that shit. It could have been Robert De Niro up there. He wouldn't have done that shit. It could have been Will Ferrell. He wouldn't have done that shit. And you know damn well if it was somebody like The Rock, or they even said my man oh man, Triple OG played Triple OG. I can't think of his name right now, but big dude that kind of played on a lot of stuff. He wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do that, man. He wouldn't have done that shit. It's like the only person you could see him doing that to would be Chris Rock, a person he got a relationship with. So people gotta be careful, man, when they do this shit, man. My thing here, man, it's like, all right, if it's good, if people could do that, I mean, hey, go for what you know. I mean, it's almost like saying now, it's almost like saying shit. If Will Smith could do that shit, then anytime something happened in my neck of the woods and my knee-jerk reaction, I should be able to go ahead and do it and not worry about police coming to get me. I shouldn't have to worry about people trying to stop me or none of that shit. You know, that's how that shit looks to me. I mean, personally, I mean, anybody who has gone through shit like that, have experienced something like that, stepping up for their loved ones, and might have been just completely judged down into the ground after whatever happened. And now you got the same situation with people, and I guarantee the circumstances are totally different. So people got to be careful with that, man. I mean, they have been blowing this up. I mean, I ain't heard, like I said, I wouldn't have never cared or wouldn't have gave a damn or wouldn't even acknowledge the Oscars, but for that, because that was needed in order for people to even have that enter into their realm of possibilities, because I definitely wouldn't have been giving a damn about that or any other of these shows. But you know, certain things like, you know, you got to be careful. Maybe that was something they needed for to get that inclusion viewership, and despite what that happening, and I'm gonna go to this real quick, they still ain't have no pretty they still had a low viewership. But whatever it was, man, however it was, whether Will was in the right, in the wrong, whatever, man, it just sends out a precedence, man. Like it's the hypocritical two-tier system that certain people in society can do things and they won't be held accountable for it. But if you fall up under the other side, and the sad thing about it, people on the other side give props and praise to the ones on that side who are part of that group that could do stuff and get away with it, yet they can't do the same stuff and get the same treatment. So that just shows you how lost some people are. But yeah, it's a two-tier society, and it's like that doesn't, to me, that's completely let me see what he said right here. And knowing a person like Will Smith, I mean, you would never thought he would have did nothing like that. I mean, I don't know people personally. Some people probably would think you'll see something more out of a person, more out of somebody like Ice Cube or something than than Will Smith, but you know, you never know. But still, man, people gotta be careful even with shit like this, man. Anything can be used as a distraction in this society, man. And they showing it, they don't give a damn one way or another. Uh Here it is. You know, they don't give a damn one way or another. You know, it's all about you know, so obviously that shit there about, you know, using it as a means to get viewership, that still didn't work. I mean, that's the only thing that brought that attention to it. And like I said, you gotta be careful with this shit, man. And to me, to be honest, we're gonna keep seeing more and more people, and this is meant to expose it for really what it is and what's been going on. People giving their power and their energy away to other human beings um, who really don't, you know, they don't need that. You need all your energy and power. You use that shit for yourself and for those you are truly resonating with and connected with, because they genuinely could recoup that's with that energy. You could genuinely cooperate and do things together with that shit. But you got a lot right here is just one-sided. A lot of people just giving away their respect and all this shit to other people. And these same people are treating them like you know, dirt bags. All I've been treated like dirt bag artists. A lot of people I used to look up to in a lot of positions, and as you start seeing shit and your spirit start awakening to more shit, you start realizing, man, get the fuck out of here. I can't believe I ever was hoodwinked like that. Like Malcolm X would say, hoodwinked, bamboozled, had, took. But yeah, even with simple stuff like this, you have to be careful because these folks uh, who are intent on keeping a perception uh, will use this to a negative advantage. Takes people to use wisdom to look through this whole thing. Gotta look through this stuff with wisdom and with discernment. If it don't seem right, it ain't right. If it seems like it's ulterior motive sometimes, most of the time it is. Can't really judge. I don't really know what was going on in Will Smith or you know, for that matter, Jada, because obviously everything was cool until Jada made a facial expression or whatever. And but like I said, I still wouldn't see Will Smith doing that to nobody else on that stage. Period. White, black, it doesn't matter. Damn sure if it was a white person, you wouldn't have did that shit. But people have to be careful with shit like this, man. And you know, this shit need to really be discussed because it's disgusting to constantly have to see people of certain stature or whatever think they can just do shit. And you know that people, you know people personally, or you've seen situations, or you experience yourself the same fucking shit, yet you got brought, you had to do time, you had to do this, you had to do that, had fire, had to pay court costs, all this other shit, you know. But when it falls on the laps of certain other people, they just get they don't get. It's like the people who struggling the most are the ones that get penalized the most and have to face consequences. The ones who are well off are the ones that barely even get pay accountability, and people got to understand that. So with that, I wasn't gonna be on there that long. I just was gonna get on here and give my opinion on that. But be careful with this shit. I mean, I care less one way or another about never have about the Oscars. But I knew goddamn well I'm not about to jump on there and be running just because of some damn smack heard around. Yeah, they said the smack heard all around the world, and that distracted everybody all around the world with that one smack. For something that nobody gave a damn about in the last how many years, especially over here. No, I'm not saying nobody around me talk about the Oscars. So it was like uh never made any sense to me anyway to but it makes sense when you know you have people who are trying to keep negative shit going and keep distractions going. So I'm gonna get off here and wish everybody continued blessed rest of the evening, and hopefully I get back on here to go into some more things. And I greet you as I came in the green universal words of peace.